Hey, what is up? Coming to you live from the jungle, the house that Tiger built. It's time for Dre's Geek Philosophy Podcast, the Monday edition, the November 30th edition, episode number 202. Hey, what's going on, everybody? We're late. Yeah, even though I live 5 minutes away from work now. Something I forgot to talk about last week, I feel like I should have talked about last week, was, good old Black Friday. Something we usually, I feel like, especially back when I used to have Peter Rosa here, I used to always joke around about Black Friday, but oh my Lord. I don't work in in retail anymore. I work primarily in e-commerce now. And so I thankfully don't have to deal with Black Friday customers, at least not directly, unless I'm talking to some wholesale customers, which I had to do today and actually a couple times over the weekend. We have a bunch of people who haven't bought from us before all of a sudden, like, hey, you guys sell games via wholesale? We need games because everyone's selling games like nuts. I know we did after Thanksgiving and Black Friday, good Lord, we're selling thousands and thousands and thousands of games. Normally we have a certain amount of volume. Yeah, we did like 10 times that on Black Friday. It's like, and normally we don't work the weekends, but here I was working the weekends. But not only that, it's just been crazy. But we had Turkey Day. We had Turkey. We had our first Turkey Day as a family. And I cooked my first prepared Thanksgiving dinner. I'd always relied on my mom's. I'd always go to my mom's house for Thanksgiving, or I'd go to a friend's place for Thanksgiving if that wasn't happening. But my mom usually makes Thanksgiving dinner. But yeah, this was the first time I made a Thanksgiving dinner. It was insane. I'm a cook. I'm not a chef. I realize that there's a fine distinction between cooks and chefs. And I am not a chef, but we had a good dinner nonetheless. A lot of Thanksgiving dinner is preparation. Good God, and I was completely and utterly unprepared. I had no idea what I was doing half the time. But at the end of the day, I think we started around 11, and I think I finished cooking around 7. Oh no, 6. Yeah. Oh, right, you've been Kevin. I have only had the fortune of meeting Kevin Smith once. To get to Bradney's comment before I forget. I had the fortune. It was like, I forget how many years ago. I want to say it was like 14 years ago or 13 years ago. My good friend Sean T. Hornbuckle had got us tickets to go see. It was called Marvel Then and Now, where they had Kevin Smith was the moderator, and they had Stan Lee to represent Marvel's then, and then they had at the time the current editor-in-chief Joe Quesada, and they did a little panel at UCLA, and it was actually very fun. I believe the highlight of the panel was Kevin and Joe Quesada's wireless mics were working fine, but for whatever reason, Stanley, his wireless mic wasn't working very well. And then halfway through the show, they hand him a mic. And for those of you listening on the podcast version, you're gonna miss the physical version of it. But those of you watching on Facebook Live, they hand him the mic, and he holds the mic in front of him. Oh, this is so much more comfortable. And he holds the mic like, as if he's holding a penis in front of his mouth, and you see Kevin Smith literally fall over in his chair. Because and then Stanley's like, "What's so funny, Kevin?" And then we're all just laughing because looks like Stan's about to go down on the mic, and then that's literally what Kevin was thinking, and he just died on the spot. It's just like, and then Kevin has to explain to Stan. I'm like, Stan, no, you can't hold it that way. Just don't hold it like that. Hold it like a normal person. And was Kevin Smith one of my inspirations to begin podcasting? Ironically, no. The two big inspirations for me to begin podcasting were Mark Maron and professional wrestler Colt Cabana. Those were my two podcast inspirations. Honestly, I don't think. Ironically, as much as in my 20s, I freaking loved and memorized all those early Kevin Smith movies. I don't think I've ever listened to any of the Kevin Smith podcast or any of his smodcasts.
Really?
Yeah. No, none of them. I know. Like ironically, I think I listened to someone else on his network, and I would hear ads for Kevin Smith. I was listening to this other comedian, Jay Moore. I think he kept moving around his podcast, and he was on Smodcast. And for those of you who don't know that, I guess that's Smith and Mosier, Scott Mosier, the Kevin Smith's partner in all that View Askew stuff. No, that's the fun. I know my wife is incredibly shocked, but yeah, I don't think I've ever listened to it. I don't know what happened when I turned 30, where I was just like I still thought Kev was funny, but I wasn't obsessed with him as I was. But to rewind back to the original point of the story, I went and saw this. We saw this panel at UCLA, and my buddy Sean, being him and his epic whiteness, he as soon as the panel was over, he's like, Dre, let's go. I have to do it with my Sean voice. Dre, let's go around the side. I think we might be able to meet them if we go to the right place, because Kevin needs to go take a smoke. And we ducked out the side. Everyone went in one direction. We went the opposite direction. We went off the side, and we ran into Kevin Smith was outside smoking a cigarette. This was, like I said, this was like 14, 15 years ago. And we ran into him, and we took photos with it. He was really cool. It was so funny. Like, oh, we're sorry to bother you. And he's like, no, it's cool. He waves us over. And me and my buddy Sean, we took photos with him, and we took photos with Joe Quesada. I'm sure it's on my Facebook and my Instagram somewhere. I have those because my buddy Sean, because this is old school. This was like, we didn't take them with our phone. We took them with a camera. And I had and my buddy Sean printed them out. He had them printed, and we had nice big prints. Yes, I have printed photos, but I have taken photos and posted them on the internet for posterity. They were somewhere in my garage. I think, Kev was super cool. I was like, you always hear never meet your heroes, but Kev was so freaking cool. He was like, yo, come over, yeah. And then we took the photo with him, and took the photo with Joe Quesada. I feel like Kevin shamed him into taking the photo with us. Like, I wasn't as enthusiastic to take a photo with Joe Quesada, but I was like, all right, cool. I didn't want to be rude, but like, oh no, I only wanted a picture with him. Joe Q, yeah, go draw some more weirdly shaped guys and do your weird thing. But yeah, that's the one time I got to meet Kevin Smith, and I remember it was pretty cool. I was pretty happy. Like, oh, awesome. I saw the. I don't know what it is. I don't know why I've never jumped into his, because you know what? I think what it is, the reason why I never jumped into, because he has such a high volume. There's so many podcasts he has. He does one with Ralph Garman. He does the one with his buddy, the Fat Man on Batman. I think Tiger wants to contribute as well. You have something to say too, buddy? I'm telling you, when this kid, Flynn's Arcade, that's right. I have to represent. I'm always representing Tron. I wore this today, and I wore my Tron hoodie at work. But yeah, it was like, there's too many. I feel like there's too many podcasts. I can't. There's just too many. I don't know why. I was just like, no, I'm not going to jump into those for whatever reason. I think I've seen some YouTube videos of his show. Like I think I had wanted to go back when they were still doing it back at City Walk. They were doing it at City Walk. I think now they do them at Scum and Villainy in downtown. Well, I don't think they're doing them right now at Scum and Villainy, but they used to do them at the John Lovitz nightclub in City Walk. And yeah, it's funny. I think I was looking this morning to see if I could find the Jay and Silent Bob movie on the on Cyber Monday deals. But yeah, that was a weird thing. Like today, today is supposed to be a big do all your online shopping. But I think everyone exhausted all their online deals on Friday. I went and I bought one thing, which is going to be a Christmas present for my lady. It's a Christmas present for both of us. But I bought one thing today while I was perusing the Cyber Monday deals this morning. I still gotta go quietly go pick it up. I have to do like curbside pickup because now everything's closed up again. Yeah, Hollywood Babylon. I like Ralph Garman. I like Ralph Garman when he was on KROQ and all the random voices he does on Family Guy. But his really bad Adam West that he does. But yeah, that was interesting. But yeah, so this past weekend, it was. I feel like the wife and I and then the baby we had a fairly nerdy weekend. Oh, James, you bought too many things. Yeah, for whatever reason, there's games I wanted to buy. Like I saw today, like a bunch of the PlayStation 4 greatest hits were $10. I'm like, oh, cool. I can get God of War for $10. I'm like, I don't know if I'm ever gonna get to it. I'm so busy between work and being a dad. Like there's all these games. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I could pick up Mario and Rayman Raving Rabbids for like really cheap. It was like $15. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna play it. I don't think I'm gonna get to it. I still haven't got to the games I want to play. Especially between our move and work, I haven't touched a game in a couple weeks. My poor gaming channel has been a desolate wasteland of content between us moving out here. But there's a bunch of stuff. I saw there was cool things that like, oh, I feel like a younger me, a 5 years ago me would have been like, I would have bought like probably 15 things today. Like, if I was younger, I would have bought that game and that game and that game and that game. But no, current me, it's like, oh, I spent $100+ at Target last night on baby stuff. Yeah, diapers are expensive. Baby food's expensive. That's where all my money's going. As much as I wanted to buy a bunch of PS4 and Switch games, I'm like, no, I gotta wipe my kid's butt and feed them. That's kind of my real life Tamagotchi over there. I gotta keep him alive. That's the game I'm playing right now. I gotta keep Tiger going. Keep my son happy. Keep him. Yeah. Listen, I don't know if y'all can hear him. He's laughing. See, and I saw all those Nintendo first party games. Sorry, I gotta reach over here. I just realized I didn't plug in the phone charger. I saw Nintendo's doing. It's so crazy because working in video game distribution now, seeing all these Black Friday deals. Like here, let me let y'all in a little secret. Y'all are buying games. If you bought games either this past Friday or last week or today, you're buying them below cost. It's insane. Like my bosses were like, "Oh, we need to go out and buy a bunch of freaking Tony Hawks. $24 is way better than what we pay for them." It's like, what? We were overselling stuff, and like my boss is like, "All right, we got to go out to Target and Walmart. We got to go buy some stuff because we oversold." Because Amazon is actually really annoying if you're like selling stuff on there. Let's say you have 10 of a game, but 20 people put it in the cart, and only 5 buy it, and then people check out later. It'll just oversell, and Amazon's like, "Yo, dog, you sold 20 copies of this game, you only had 10 of them." Like, why'd you fuck me like that, Amazon? It's fine when we have 1,000 copies of it again, because then we don't really sell out. I mean, over time, yeah, we are right now with the holidays. But it's insane. Like it was like Rainbow Six Siege for the PlayStation 4. For whatever reason, we had a huge run on it. And I was like, oh, we oversold by 20 copies. I'm like, oh, crap. And so like, me and the managers were like, all right, we got a game plan on this. Let's see, how many Walmarts can we hit in the area so we can buy these Rainbow Six Sieges less than what we normally pay for, so we can sell them on Amazon to fulfill these freaking orders that Amazon oversold on us. It's nuts. Yeah, exactly, James. You see, because you were working at Best Buy. The cost for Best Buy is $48, and see me where I'm at in the distribution level, our cost is even lower, and some of these prices are even below that. It's insane. It's the 48 that's cost for retailer. The actual, if you're buying direct from Sony or buying direct from Ubisoft or EA, the cost is less than that, and even some of the prices that are out there right now we're nuts for game like that Star Wars Squadrons. That's like below our, like they're selling it for like $20 right now. That's below our cost. Or if we were to go to EA, like, yo, we need, 600 copies of Star Wars Squadrons. Yeah. Oh, no, don't buy direct from me. Right now, take advantage of the deals. The deals are below our cost. Like, we sell for higher. Like, I had one of my clients come to me and saying, like, yo, you guys are selling, what was it? It was one of the Lord of the Rings games. It was Shadow of Mordor, Game of the Year. You guys are selling we're selling it wholesale for 25, and I could buy it from Best Buy for 20. I'm like, go buy it from Best Buy. Sorry, like I can't beat 20 right now. Like 25's our firm price. Sorry, I'm pretty sure we paid 23 for it. So sorry about that. Video game margins are really tight. That's why we sell them by the hundreds. It's like this Black Friday. There was like a couple weeks ago when the Black Friday ad came out. Like literally, me and the bosses were sitting in office pouring over the ads. We're pulling them up on our phones, and like this is ridiculous. It's just like, Tony Hawk just came out, and it was just like that was like a $40-$50 game. It's like, oh, $24. Like the fuck? If we went to Activision right now. Or if we had gone to Activision, then that game's a $30-something cost. Like, okay, it's one of the like I've said before on the show. Now it's officially been 2 years I've been working at this distributor because I was around Thanksgiving 2018 that I quit all my other crazy jobs of driving school, Lego rep, and supermarket rep all at the same time. And I'm like, I'm gonna go do this video, take a chance and go be a seasonal at this video game warehouse. And I've managed to. Oh, my boss, we buy like. No, so what's going on? I think is. A lot of these places are willing to take a loss just to make sales. That's what me and the managers were talking about at work. It's like all the Nintendo deals, all those games that are $40. Like I think that's Nintendo covering the cost for them. Nintendo's like, all right, cool, sell it below cost. We'll cover your losses, just so they can get more sales. That way, it looks better for the stockholders. Like, oh look how well Target did. Look how well GameStop did. Look how much sales. Like. We can't recover, but so we're not selling our Nintendo first party games for $40 at our distribution. We're like, no, like, yo, you want those games? They're gonna be $49, yo. Like, and that's wholesale. You gotta be a reseller to buy it from us for that price. If you're talking to us retail, like, yo, that's $59.99, yo. It's insane. So what happens? Like a lot of these publishers, they will cover these, like, all right, you can advertise $40 and they'll cover the losses. They don't literally just hand them a check like, oh, you have credit next time you order from us. Like let's say Walmart is selling these they're selling like Mario Maker 2 for $40. They're selling Mario Tennis for $40. They're selling all these Nintendo games are normally $60. They're selling them for $40. So let's say Walmart's losing, let's say $6 to $9 somewhere along the lines, because they're buying bigger, right? They're buying big, and so Nintendo will give them credit. All right, cool. If you guys sell 1,000 units, we'll give you 6 G's of credit. So next time Walmart's ordering from Nintendo, they'll give them a $6,000 discount on their next order. So that to give you a basic example of what's happening right now. That's why, and I think that's the same that's been happening with Activision on these prices for Tony Hawk or Call of Duty. Right now, I'm sure they're getting profits in other departments. Walmart has a lot of those first party games for $30. See, that's another thing where Walmart, they're probably taking that discount and then driving it down further to try to push more because, profits over sales. See, you think profits over sales are more important, but this weekend, to look good to stockholders, it's a big, giant, complicated thing. They have to look good. You can't be less than last year. You have to beat last year. That's the worst thing. You have to beat last year. Yeah, this is very confusing. Yes, exactly, because there's a lot of different ledgers. my bosses, particularly my direct supervisor, he has to deal with a lot of that kind of like crazy bookkeeping because sometimes we'll get cut. Like if Sega drops a price on something, we buy direct from Sega. If Sega does a crazy price drop, and we're like, hey, WTF, we bought all this stuff from you. Yeah, generally, yeah, Black Friday is a really good time. That's what I've always done, like with movies in the past. Like I used to be that person. I'd buy a movie the day it would come out, like 10 years ago. If you go back to my Instagram, you see I always show, oh look, I bought Iron Man 2 today. I bought Avengers today. Now I've learned over the years. I'm like, oh, that's a sucker's game. You wait. Like you don't need it now. If there's something you really really want, wait till Black Friday. Wait till that because now it's all week now, and especially some of that stuff. Like if you're waiting on older stuff, that stuff's gonna like. Remember, there was one Black Friday where like, okay, I really wanted X-Men: Days of Future Past, and I forgot what the other movie was. I had a Facebook memory of that where I just waltzed into freaking Best Buy after Thanksgiving dinner, picked them both up for $6 each, walked out. I'm like, all right, cool, got the two movies I wanted. And then and a few years ago, it was like, all right, I remember me and Pete had just finished the Wednesday night show when we used to do that comic focus show. And I sat there on my phone and I bought a bunch of Blu-rays from Best Buy. I was like, okay, cool. I didn't buy Wonder Woman earlier this year. I didn't buy John Wick. I didn't buy Spectre. I didn't buy Fantastic Beasts. I'm like, cool. And then boom, boom, boom. Like $30 later, I had 5 Blu-rays. And I was like, oh, cool. I'm like, if I had bought each of those the day they came out, it'd be like $20 each. Like, it just logistically made sense to me. Oh, if I just got patient and just wait for Black Friday, I buy all the movies I'd wanted throughout the year.
I got furniture.
My wife bought furniture during this Black Friday. I really didn't do any shopping. I did a lot of working. I mean, I did a lot of working and I did a lot of baby shopping. That was my Black Friday. I bought one thing. And I keep almost saying what I bought, but it's supposed to be a surprise for the wife. It wasn't anything it's nothing major, honey. Sorry, but I bought a thing.
It's important.
It's the it's the thought that counts. It's the thought. It's the intention. It's like I gave her a clue this morning. It's something both you and I would enjoy, and then she made a very off-color joke that was very hilarious, which I will not share with you guys because our baby is listening. See, Ryan, you're a parent. You bought kids toys and clothes. James, you don't have kids. You bought a laptop and an iPad. A 12-month no interest financing. Did you go back to your former employer for that, James? Did you go back to your old did you go back to your old stomping grounds of the Burbank Best Buy and get that hooked up, or did you head on over to one of the Northridge stores? One of the 3 Northridge Best Buys. I think there was 3. Yeah, it was really weird. I didn't understand. Oh no, wait, it was 3 Targets, 2 Best Buys. Sorry, my mistake. Black Friday is just it's good, but it's complicated. Like I'm telling you, yeah, it's like it's wild out there. It was so funny. Like we had this cart. Like I think we even picked up. Or it's funny the week before, even the buy 2 get one. The old buy 2 get one free that always happens. We went out and took advantage of that because we oversold. Same company, different location. Oh. All right, I shouldn't be putting your business on Front Street, not the blue shirts. But yeah, it was like during the buy 2 get 1 free. Again, it's like because Amazon keeps freaking hurting. Because we sell on Amazon as well. It's like we keep getting our butts whipped. It's like we start running low on a game. It's like all of a sudden, oh crap, we were oversold. We got to go freaking. We want to fulfill the orders. We don't have to cancel them and take a negative hit. So like, all right, let's go out and buy them. They're like, oh, take advantage. Buy 2 get 1 free. And the managers come back. Like, all right, cool. We picked up some of the Call of Duty Cold War, some Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, while they were picking up the game they needed because the targets are like you can't buy 3 of the same game. Like, all right, fine. We'll buy some other shit that we need that we can sell as well. Video game distribution is insane. It's equal parts Oh yeah, this year it was very select games. I think that's I think where the bosses it worked for us because a couple of those games we were in desperate need of. I think one of them I forgot. I think it was like whatever the Major League Baseball game from Sony. Like we ran out of that. It's so weird, like especially around during the holidays. Like my boss was joking around. The Switch is basically the Wii all over again. Because right now our number one selling game at work is Carnival games for the Nintendo Switch. Which I don't know if my gamer buddy is here. I don't know if you remember Carnival games for the Nintendo Wii. Which I think, as I was telling my boss, I think that was one of the few third-party games that sold over 1 million units on the Wii. And apparently it's well on its way with the MLB The Show. Thank you. Yeah, it's well on its way to selling 1 million units on the Switch. Because it was funny. My boss, like he ordered, like we brought in like freaking 10,000 copies of Carnival games, and I was like, oh man, I'm like, you think we're gonna move all that? And he's like, oh, don't worry. And then freaking Black Friday rolls in, like boom, we blow up, we freaking sell 500. It's like, okay, yeah, we're gonna blow through this before Christmas. We're gonna nuke that 10K, no problem. Oh, you got your wife to work out. Did you get the Wii Fit Adventure? That's the one game I feel like I can probably purchase and the wife won't get mad at me because it's an exercise game. It'll be fun for both of us to play. There's a Mario Kart and Party Bundle for $80 at Target. Oh yeah. That's a new thing I've been seeing on Switch now. I saw Sega did a bunch of those. Oh, see, Ryan says yes. The Ring Fit Adventure. I remember watching one of my buddies, like he was playing it like every day on Twitch because it's a workout game, but apparently it's also an RPG at the same time. I guess it's to help motivate the gamer to keep working out. It's like, oh cool, I'm gaining progress, I'm earning XP. I guess there's a bunch of different quests, and I guess whatever little exercise you're doing, maybe you're fighting monsters as you're doing the exercises if you do them correctly. I mean, if there's anything that can motivate me to work out, is make it a game. I have my DDP yoga program, but that requires time and space, and sometimes like it just kicks my ass. I can only hear Diamond Dallas Page say like "Take it to the bridge" so many times. If you've ever done DDP yoga, you'll know what I'm talking about. But yes, I have sidetracked myself quite a bit. But yeah, Black Friday, insane. It's still crazy for us. Even today, like it's Cyber Monday. Because we're not even going to see. See, that's the thing. At my job, we're always kind of like we're working on what happened the day before. So tomorrow, oh my God, we had like 6,000 orders today. That was Sunday and Monday morning, Cyber Monday. I can only imagine we might have more tomorrow, if our stuff really struck on Cyber Monday. We might have more orders tomorrow, honey. So hopefully I won't be at work too late. Or hopefully I won't have to walk. Oh, sorry, bosses. Deuces, I gotta go feed my family. Because I'm like middle management at work. I'm like, oh, I am not a manager like my bosses, but I'm not a person who just packs games anymore. I'm the sales manager of our wholesale website. And apparently the most responsible person in the warehouse. It's fun being responsible. I know where all the games are at. It's like, Dre, we need to find a copy of Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Oh, there's a European copy over in that box that's labeled Latin America. Why? I put it there 8 months ago. I just know it's there. Apparently my memory can be used for rap lyrics and also where obscure games can be located in a giant warehouse full of hundreds of thousands of games. My son's having fun over there with my wife. So, I don't know. I want to tackle The Mandalorian. The wife and I, we made time. We are caught up. My wife and I made time. Tiger went to bed at a reasonable hour this past Friday. And the wife and I, we fired up Disney Plus. We put it on my PS4. We set up our little earbuds to not wake him up, so we're only listening to it. I'm running the audio of the PS4 through the controller, and so we each have one earbud so it doesn't wake up the baby. And we're listening to The Mandalorian, watching it on the TV, And man, this past week's episode, if you're if you're a longtime fan of Star Wars: The Clone Wars, if you watched Rebels, if you've basically followed all the stuff that crazy man Dave Filoni, apparently, I didn't realize that guy. Apparently, he worked on Avatar: The Last Airbender, and that's I guess that's how he got hired to work on Star Wars. He's been working on Star Wars since the Clone Wars. I mistakenly I misinformed one of my friends on Facebook earlier this week. I thought Dave Filoni took over at some point later on, because the first season of the Clone Wars is incredibly targeted at kids, and at some point in season 2 it gets awesome. They say, fuck it, we're just gonna do awesome Star Wars shit. Here, have some Darth Maul. Here's a bunch of Mandalorians. Here's a bunch of other cool shit. And then the show, like that, I remember I was binging it on Netflix because it was gonna leave Netflix a couple of years ago, and I just sat and I binged through the Clone Wars, and I was like, oh man, the first season or so, I'm like, man, this isn't that great. Why is everybody hyping this show up? And all of a sudden, I get to like season 2, like, whoa, what the hell? This is really good. Oh, the Samurai Jack, I got those on DVD somewhere. I'm pretty sure those are on Disney Plus, I think. Or if they're not, I have them on DVD. But yeah, Clone Wars. Tiger, do you have some feelings as well
9.
about Star Wars?
9.
9. And so, yeah, if you watched a lot of that, the Clone Wars stuff, if you watched Star Wars Rebels, which I'm still working my way through, I only caught episodes here and there. I mean, I caught the epic episode of Rebels where you got the rematch of Darth Maul and Obi-Wan Kenobi. If that's a spoiler, I'm sorry, but yeah, spoiler alert, Darth Maul survived Star Wars Episode 1. Yeah, he may have been chopped in half, but through the power of retconning, he was brought back to life with robot legs. He survived through the power of hate. He hated Obi-Wan so much. It kept him alive, even though he was missing half of his body. Well, he was only missing his legs, but the dark side. Do I think Ezra might come back? Dude, they gave us Ahsoka. They name dropped frickin' Admiral Thrawn, Grand Admiral Thrawn, if I must. Yeah, and if you see, I saw the last few episodes of Rebels, so I know, like, oh, Ezra and Thrawn, frickin' they got roped into those frickin' hyperspace octopi and flew off to who knows where poor Ezra and Ahsoka were searching for them. It's weird. I'm totally fine with live action Ahsoka because freaking Rosario Dawson, like, she freaking nailed it. Like, I've never seen, like, because, you know, obviously I've watched all of Clone Wars. I've seen a bunch of Rebels, but God, she totally nailed, like, a grown up freaking awesome crazy Ahsoka, and that was amazing. So I feel like if they tried to cast Ezra, it'd be like, it's just gonna be like it's just downhill from there. I mean, I already feel like whoever they cast as freaking Grand Admiral Thrawn is just gonna be like, oh, I feel like it's almost gonna be a disappointment compared to how freaking great freaking Rosario was as freaking Ahsoka. It was like, wow, I was just like, I was so taken aback at how, like, oh, I wasn't sitting there going, hey, look, it's Rosario Dawson. I was like, oh my God, it's live action Ahsoka, and she's freaking amazing.
Yeah, she doesn't look like Rosario Dawson.
Yeah. It's like so cool. I mean, if they could get the entire, I mean, I'm being selfish here. If they could just get the whole crew of the Ghost, that'd be awesome. But yeah, again, it was just like, it would feel weird. I was like, oh, it's just like, they nailed it. It was like, if we were at the Olympics, like, oh, they nailed the jump and the landing. Ta-da! Like, yeah, it's I've heard. That's right, Warren. I've heard that rumor that they might do a spin-off show with just Ahsoka, and then because I kept seeing a lot of reviews where we're very happy to see that Benedict Cumberbatch as that would be like great for Grand Admiral Thrawn if they got Benedict Cumberbatch. You know, he's been on Disney payroll already. He's freaking Doctor Strange. He did a few other Disney movies. I mean, you probably didn't know that The Fifth Estate was technically a Disney movie, but yeah, it was technically a Disney movie. It was weird. Samurai Jack's on HBO Max? What? No way. Somebody better to tell Jai T. Polidor the Samurai Jack's on HBO Max. Yeah, like I don't know, the Mandalorian. I've never been so happy with a show. Just like the previous episode with the freaking Katie Sackhoff, which I didn't realize until I researched it. Like she voiced Bo-Katan in freaking Clone Wars, which it didn't hit me until I was researching it. I was looking up all the characters from the Clone Wars, and I'm like, oh, she voiced Bo-Katan back in freaking Clone Wars, and she got to play the live action version. Freaking amazing. And then you saw freaking like Sasha Banks or Mercedes Varnado as another Mando. That was freaking cool. Oh, and the whole time I was watching last week's episode with my wife, I was like, the mercenary that was with the bad guy, I was like, man, that looks like the dude from Alien and Terminator, James Cameron's favorite guy to kill, Michael Biehn. And I'm like, it looks like Michael Biehn. I think it is, but I'm like, he looks like him, but I'm not sure. I was like, it was so funny. Like I couldn't explain it to Rosa like the whole time we were watching. I'm like, I know that guy. I think it's Michael Biehn. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it is. And like in my head, I was just losing it, and then like I look it up the next day. I'm like, oh, it was Michael Biehn. Oh, he had to die. Oh, your favorite camera was the dad from Kim's Convenience. Yeah, I didn't realize that because I haven't watched. I've been meaning to watch Kim's Convenience. My boss has been telling me over. I need to watch Kim's Convenience. Yeah, the rebel pilot or the New Republic pilot at the end who was investigating what happened. Yeah, Shades of Tombstone. Yeah, that last episode was such a freaking what do you call it? It was such a spaghetti western with Ahsoka's freaking awesomeness and freaking Mando being Mando. Yeah, this show just hits so many freaking notes. Anyone who doesn't, I don't know. I have no quarrel with you, Mandalorian. Yeah, poor Michael Biehn. I'm like, his lot in life is to die in like everything. People give Sean Bean a lot of shit for dying and a lot of stuff, but Michael Biehn, like, go back and look at his career. Dude gets aced in everything he gets put in. James Cameron just loves to kill him. I mean, like James Cameron always puts him in stuff and just murders him. I remember I made a joke because I think I'd watched during the movie challenge. I watched the Abyss, and there's Michael Biehn. Oh well, there's two things that James Cameron loves: aliens. Michael Biehn was in Tombstone, killed by Doc Holliday. That's right. That's what I'm saying, yo. He keeps. Oh, I knocked everything over. He just professionally died. He dies more than Sean Bean. I don't think I've seen him survive a movie. He was in freaking Planet Terror. Robert Rodriguez's freaking Planet Terror movie, and he died in that too. The guy just has a career of like, I show up and I die. He let him live. No, he totally. I thought he died in Aliens. I think it was John Hurt that had the freaking alien inside of him. Maybe I flipped it in my head. But yeah, I remember watching The Abyss, and I think my review was like, oh, Bill Paxton holds a record. I think in my review, I'm like, there's two things that James Cameron loves: big effects and killing Michael Biehn. So, are you going to bed, big guy? You just, huh? It's 9:15. Good God, I'm just a talking machine here. But yeah, the Mandalorian was amazing. I can't wait to. The one silly rumor I keep hearing is that when they go to the Jedi Temple, it's gonna be a freaking armless Mace Windu. Ooh, if we get armless Mace Windu and like Samuel Jackson is quietly and say like, I got a cameo in this, motherfuckers, I will lose my mind if we get an armless Mace Windu, a one-armed samurai Mace Windu. Scarred from his fight, because if Darth Maul can survive getting his legs chopped off, I feel confident that Mace Windu, one of the most powerful Jedi, Yeah, Palpatine lightning is survivable. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't kill. In my Star Wars game that I play, Palpatine has lightning. The lightning doesn't kill you. He can hit you with it. It takes you down to like little health, but it doesn't kill you. So it's established canon even within their games. Yeah, Luke and Rey got freaking you can survive Palpatine's lightning. So if that's like the big payoff at the end, one arm Mace Windu scarred, a scarred Mace Windu arrives at the Jedi Temple when little Grogu or as I keep seeing on the internet, Groku, if he reaches out and like, guess what, motherfuckers? It's Mace motherfucking Windu. I will lose my mind. Whoa, hey, buddy. Oh, kid. Yeah, it's awesome. So something else that the wife and I did this past weekend, we took some holiday photos over downtown Disney is semi-operational. There's just lines everywhere. It was you had Disneyland employees who their entire purpose was like to stare at you and make sure you don't take off your mask. You cannot take off your mask for photos. You can't take off your mask in line. If you buy like the wife and I bought some drinks at Starbucks, we have to like go off to the side and hide. You can't be walking and drinking. You have to like go to the side, lift your mask up a little bit, take a quick drink. Yeah, because it was funny. I was kind of annoyed because like they have a bunch of cool little, because we wanted to take holiday photos. One of Rose's friends, they had a baby around the same time as us. So like, hey, let's all go together, and we'll take photos. We'll walk through downtown Disney. We didn't even try going into, because California Adventure, I guess they have the front door open. You can walk through fake Burbank, Buena Vista Street. The wife and I and Tiger didn't go into that. But yeah, it was very interesting. As a person who I used to be a pass hole, an annual pass holder, it was very weird. It felt so like there was a giant line to get into the World of Disney store. I'm sure they're only allowing so many people inside. Like all the stores, we tried to go. They have and then like freaking downtown Disney is so different. I realized I hadn't I went to Disneyland last year. For when I turned 40, my wife bought me and my bro tickets, and we went with our buddy D-Loke, and I got to see Star Wars Land. I didn't go to downtown Disney at all. Looking through downtown Disney, man, that place, it's so different. Like the ESPN zone, gone. I mean, I think they had already closed the AMC. Like that end of the Rainforest Cafe is closed down. They threw up a freaking like a little an Asian food truck in front of the entrance of the old Rainforest Cafe. It's like it was already a desert even before the pandemic, and I think the pandemic just reinforced the desert-like status of one end of downtown Disney, and like all the other stores, like a third of the stores are gone. I don't know if that's pandemic related, and they changed a bunch of the stores. I think because of the pandemic, there's a cool art gallery store. They're like right now, I think they changed it to a Star Wars Galaxy Hut, so you can go inside and buy super expensive Star Wars things without having to go into Galaxy's Edge. And it was weird. It just felt so weird. A lot of the stuff that like I remember walking past it. Yeah, the House of Blues that was gone before the pandemic anyway, and it's a freaking bowling alley, which I'm sure is not operational because of the pandemic. It just felt so weird. As a person who used to frequent Disney like on a freaking weekly basis, it felt weird. And just seeing like, oh, no one can go into the park. It was just like, oh, you can just go into Buena Vista Street. It was just like it was kind of odd. But what was real nice, if you check out my Facebook, my wife tagged me in it. They put up a little memorial for Chadwick Boseman, and we naturally had to go over there. We had to Wakanda Forever. Especially, I didn't know until I found out after the fact later. Yesterday would have been Chadwick Boseman's birthday, and I guess Disney added a tribute to him at the beginning of Black Panther on Disney Plus. Yeah, Earl of Sandwich. Yeah. Honestly, I wanted to go to Earl of Sandwich, but it was like, oh, we went down there, we took the photos, and I was like, oh, I gotta go. I had to get to work. I worked a half day yesterday. My boss was like messaging me like, where are you? We need your help. I need your help. we got another 4,000 orders. Help, help. And so, yeah, the wife and I definitely want to go back because she's like, I want to try that Earl sandwich. I'm like, that Earl sandwich place is great. It's actually pretty good considering the Disney prices. It's not as much of a ripoff as some of the other places in that area. So it was very, it was crazy because like there was only one parking lot. It was like this parking lot it was like a Simba parking lot I'd never seen before. Everything pushed back there. It was like, oh, the flat rate for parking. It was $10 parking. Good luck, motherfuckers. And then, like they had to walk through a temperature check, and then they did a big security check. My dumbass, because I was going to work right after I had my box cutter in my pocket. Goodbye, box cutter. I was like, oh, here you go, security. Sorry, my dumbass didn't leave it in the car, and I didn't want to walk back and go all the way through temperature checks and all that stuff all over again. I'm like, nope, I'll just go to Target or Walmart and get a new box cutter tomorrow or something. Dang it. And yeah, it was just like so much more. I mean, yes, they needed to take the precautions, but it was just like, whoa. It's like, it felt so different. It was just, sometimes I feel a lot of people don't see the effects of the pandemic because they're just at home or like just, they still go about their business. But you try to go out and do some stuff that you normally would have done before, and you're like, you see the difference in the world. It's really jarring. It's especially someplace like that, like a big freaking theme park, which a place that like, oh, normally has lots of people. You can't do that. Everyone, keep your mask. Like the Disney boys, keep your masks on. You gotta keep your masks on. Don't you dare take it off. Yeah, they wouldn't help us take the photo. It was there. Nope, we're gonna stare at you. Like, although one of the cast members was nice, and like she tried to help distract Tiger back towards the camera when my wife was trying to take a photo of me and Ty. She pulled out her keys and tried to distract him, but touch our phone? Oh no, can't touch any of your things. No. It's like, oh, this is the world that's around us. It's insane. But let's not end the show on that note. Let me end the show on a funny note. I wanted to talk some music today. Normally we don't get around to talking to music a lot on this show. I've always at the beginning when we started this show almost 4 years ago, I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna have some focused music episodes so I can bring in some of my friends who really want to talk music. But we never really get around. We talk about mostly nerdy shit. But I want to talk about music because at work I've been put in charge of music because usually we don't play music in our big old warehouse, but it's the holidays. And me and the boss are really cool. He and I have he and I are almost the same age, so we have very similar music tastes from the '90s. We love our hip hop and R&B. So we have one of those nice little Alexas set up. And so one of the other managers, he'll put on Kiss FM, and I'll be like, what is this trash? They play the same 10 songs every hour. I hate this. This is freaking garbage. I was like, I never felt like such a like freaking grumpy old man than like listening to Kiss for a couple of hours. I'm like, oh my God, this is what my parents must have felt like in the 80s. Or even in the 90s. When my parents were all about 70s music and, well, the 70s and 80s music or even further back. And now I'm like, oh, I get it. I understand. See, Warren, yeah. See, you knew where I was going. That's exactly where I was headed. I took control of the Alexa. I'm like, Alexa, play KDAY. Give me, like, that's the closest we'll get to the old 92.3 The Beat. Good old K-Day. And you know what? K-Day was great during Monday through Friday. During the week, K-Day was my salvation. And man, listening to, I hadn't heard radio edits. I have not heard radio edits of songs in so long. It's so I'm standing there like so. Because a lot of times, one of my primary jobs at the warehouse right now, especially in the super busy times, like we pull all these orders. We have to go pull all the games, and then from those games that we pull, we got to sort them out with the packing slips and the shipping labels that they're gonna go through. I'm doing that. So like so during the holidays we put on music. Normally we don't because like the sorting process only takes like an hour on a normal time, but now it takes like 6 hours. So we got holidays. We put on some music. hopefully my boss, like, try not to put on anything too offensive. So put on K-Day. And man, I'm like rapping along with the songs, but I'm singing the album version out loud, but the radio edit is going on. And I'd forgotten how like nothing but a G Things radio edit is so different. I Get Around is just a bunch of the one I heard just before I left work right now, another Tupac song. It was Ain't No Fun. Oh no, not Ain't No Fun. No, it was the equivalent of that. Oh, there was a Tupac song from All Eyes on Me, where it was all every other city we go, every other video, no matter where I go. And on Kid I see the same. And like there's this long pause because Nate Dogg holds that hose note for so long. And I'm just standing there like, me and my boss are just like laughing and like, why are they even trying to play this song? All About You, that's the name of the song. All About You is the song from All Eyes on Me. And like, why are they even trying to play this? Because every other word is ho or bitch or whatever. And like Katie just like boop, boop. So, you know, they have the radio edit. It's just like there isn't even at least some of the older songs, a lot of the Dr. Dre songs. There's a lot of substitutions where they have an alternate version, which is not as not as vulgar. But there's like a couple of Snoop Dogg songs that were like, and like they bleep out endo. I'm like, really? Really? We are in 2020 and you're bleeping out weed references? Seriously? I was like losing my mind, but yeah. It was so funny to just hear the radio edits or like the way they just freaking do that stuff. Like, wow. I'm like, what the hell? It was just, and I was just tripping out a lot of my coworkers because there'd be some of my karaoke jams that come on. Because you got some Blackstreet going on. You got some No Diggity. I'm like, oh. I was like, I apologize to everyone. I'm going to start singing. and I just belted out. It was just hilarious. Or like other songs, I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna hit everything right now. Like Forgot About Dre comes on. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. This was my karaoke intro music back when karaoke was a thing. Me and the KJ were cool. Like if it was my turn, the bumper music would be Forgot About Dre. I'm like, sorry, a lot of words are gonna be coming out of my mouth. It's just so hilarious. But so that was like, last week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, we had K-Day on during the day. I was like, nah, fuck Kiss. Nah, I had enough of this Harry Styles playing that same song every day. I had enough of this. All these, I don't even know who there's like a Bieber and Chance the Rapper song. I wanted to throw things through the roof, and heaven forbid, Kiss tried to play that damn freaking Mariah Carey Christmas song. I screamed out, Alexa, stop song! Because sometimes the bosses, one of the other managers, he always just change it back to Kiss because that's what his kids listen to, so that's what he's used to. But so Saturday comes, all right, go in on Saturday. I put on K-Day, and I was talking to my boss because again, we used to do this show at iHeartRadio at a radio station. Like, I've always been kind of obsessed with radio, and working with Sam, who's been. He's been working in radio his whole life, so I'd learned so much about the radio business. And man, I would always talk to them, man, like weekend radio usually sucks ass. I was like, yeah, because it's all robots and then the DJs who are terrible. Why are you not charging? The phone is not charging. I only have 20% left. That's fine. I need to end the social anyway. But so K-Day on the weekends. Oh my Lord. So we put on K-Day, and it's all Spanish commercials. What happened? Oh, sorry. I'll be getting in soon.
It's plugged into that.
Oh, that's why it wasn't charging. None of this was charging. Okay, good. And so K-Day weekend, it was just like all these commercials in Spanish or Korean. And it was just like an hour was like 60% commercials in a few songs. I was like, what the hell? And we kept hearing the same UPS, come join UPS for the holidays commercial. We'd hear that like 3 times in a row. There was a casino commercial that played 3 times in a row. My boss was like, we need to, stop this. So my dumb ass, like, all right, Amazon Music, play, 90s R&B. And it started playing like some Tony Braxton. I'm like, no, we need something with a beat. It's like I can't just have ballads all day. We need a beat. I'm like, all right, Amazon Alexa, play 90s hip hop, and it started playing Snoop Dogg's "What's My Name," but like the album version. And so we have a lot of ladies in the warehouse who are working in the packing area, and I was like, oh no, and I'm like, because I said it and walked away, and I'm like 3 aisles away, and I start hearing, I was like, I give a fuck about a bitch, and I was like, oh no, HR, Alexa, stop. And then eventually one of my other coworkers said, because I tried putting it on K-Rock, and then K-Rock was really bad on the weekend too. It was all like a bunch of commercials too, and a bunch of weird songs. And then one of the coworkers like, put on 987. I'm like, Star 987? But this shows you how out of touch I am. I'm like, Star? He's like, oh no, it's Alt now. I'm like, Alt? All right, whatever. Alexa, play Alt 987. And it actually, the weekend, like they're doing some Thanksgiving thingamabob, and they kept playing like the 2-3 songs in a row, the same artist. I gave us some Nirvana, gave us a bunch of Red Hot Chili Peppers, and like again, me and my boss, we're guys in our 40s, like, hey, this is our wheelhouse. We love R&B, but we also love, the 90s alternative rock. Hell yeah, this is cool. We were great for the rest of the rest of Saturday. And so we'll put it on again on the weekends, Alt 987. During the week, we're putting it on K-Day. Because when we put K-Day on today, it was a lot less annoying and abrasive, as Ryan Tanaka said right there on Facebook Live. So yeah, it's I've been in charge of the radio, but it is power. I have to manage carefully. I can't have Snoop Dogg calling and saying all those terrible words around all these nice ladies who are packing all the video games. It's like, whoops, sorry everybody, my bad. Radio edits only. Yikes. Yeah, my wife with the assist from the other room. With Power 106 comes great responsibility. Yeah, we have to do a more extended music episode one of these days. I just talk, but it was just so funny this whole weekend. Just like just the the radio edit of "Ain't No Fun" or "All About You" was just like me, just insane. Just bleep. It's great because it used to be bleeps. They'd be like, doo. Now it's just like empty spots. It's like, it was just like, I was like, what's the point? Just play something else. Play Regulate. Like, ironically, I forgot, Regulate is relatively radio friendly. I mean, there's still a lot of terrible things going on, but it's just like, it's not stuff that's acceptable to radio, apparently. And I'm like, you know what? I don't recall. Like, they don't really swear that much. And they talk about, I mean, I'm sure there's stuff that still gets bleeped in the radio edit, but especially nowadays. But as you can hear, our executive producer, Tiger, is giving us a signal that the show's over. So, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening if you're listening to the audio version. Make sure to follow us on all of our social medias. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, on Instagram, at DreGP Podcast. Check us out on those platforms as well. Make sure to find our YouTube page. When this holidays are over, I'm going to update the YouTube page. I'm so sorry. I really want to add more content to the YouTube page. I haven't even added the episodes of the show for the last few weeks. Yeah, exactly. Good night, Tiger. Mama Bear's taking a bottle of yummy formula over to him. Make sure to check out our YouTube page. Subscribe to our YouTube page, please. Give us some more views. Our number one video is me opening up a copy of Streets of Rage 4. I don't understand why that video still continues to get views, but hey, it keeps getting views. Me playing video games, no one gives a shit. Me opening a video game and removing the cellophane of a copy of Streets of Rage 4, apparently, views all day, all week, all the time. If you want to be an awesome contributor to the show, like Ryan Tanaka, like our good friend Daniel Wong, who apparently, I guess he couldn't make it tonight, like Art Solorio, we have a Patreon. Go search Patreon for Dre's Geek Philosophy Podcast. We accept your donations, your contributions to the show. Thanks to awesome people like Ryan, this show is currently able to pay for itself. The hosting has been paid for by our awesome patrons. If we get more patrons, we can do more stuff for the show. So if you're able to, even contribute $1 a month, $5 a month, well, whatever you're able to contribute, that just helps us, helps the bottom line of the show. It's doing a podcast is easy, but it's not necessarily the cheapest thing in the world, especially if you got a kid. It was fine before. I remember the first couple of years I used to subsidize the show by selling off rare Nintendo things on eBay. But now, thanks to awesome people like Ryan and Daniel and Art, I don't have to resort to such tactics. Our hosting fees of the podcast are taken care of, the audio version of the podcast. So if anyone else wants to help contribute, and then if we grow that community, I can do more stuff for our community. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We'll see you guys next week. Again, like I said last week, I can't promise any other videos. I want to try to do something more. I want to give you guys more content, because the content is king. The only way you can really grow is by having more content. But right now, the thing I must keep content is my boy. And I have to work so I can keep the family content. So I must work on the content before I can make more content. And once work eases up, I can probably work on the show more at work. Hope the boss isn't listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you guys next week. Have a good night.